Hello, Mentorship Revolution, community, friends, and family. This is the MR Podcast, and I am your main host, the founder, and the author of Poetry for Girls That Struggle. If you're interested in buying Poetry for Girls That Struggle during this wonderful Black History Month of remembering, reviving, and reflecting, I am an African-American young woman, so if you want to support me in my publishing career, in my dreams of being a successful author, please go buy you a copy of Poetry for Girls That Struggle and share it. Share it with the woman in your life. And let's celebrate, even as we know in this lifetime we will endure struggles, but we're stronger than them. So today I wanted to talk about how life is about pathways. It's interesting because as you go from childhood to your 20s, your 30s, and your 40s, your 50s, your 60s, pretty much as you go through the aging process, nothing in life remains the same. You change, the people you know change, the places you used to go change. Your attitude change, your thoughts begin to change, your interest, your your dislikes, all those things tend to gravitate to different sources. And what once used to be interesting doesn't seem as interesting. What you used to do, you don't do anymore. And life is just so full of changes. But there's one thing that's certain, you all. The pathway we take in life is so important because there are good pathways and bad pathways. And often, I don't know how it is to go down those bad pathways, but I would assume that the pathway doesn't look so bad when you're choosing to travel that pathway. But once you get to the end, you see you can't go farther, so you have to change. And I would rather recommend the previous that you choose the good pathways, but I also understand that we have to learn by choosing the bad pathways. And some things are better learned than just hearing it. You know, some things are better experienced than just talking about it. So the pathways of life are very interesting because as I said, we make good choices, we make bad choices, and our choices often take us where we need to go or where we don't need to go, where we shouldn't go. And some people may say, well, if it's guaranteed that there are good pathways and that there are bad pathways, of course, we want to avoid the bad pathways because we want to make sure we're charting a good course. So my suggestion is that since life is full of making decisions which lead us down bad or good pathways, make choices that are wise, make choices that are going to take you where you can later rejoice, where you can later celebrate because you know that you did what was best. Make choices that are going to help you avoid living a life full of regret. And make choices where, even though sometimes it may seem like you're banking on more than you have or banking on more than you can get, make choices where faith is involved, where you're actually trusting in God more so than you have to trust in yourself. And make choices that also take into consideration the plight of humanity. Don't just only think of yourself, but also make choices that can benefit the lives of others and bless others, because as you bless, you get blessed. And the pathways of life are very interesting, and we'll likely talk about that more on the MR podcast because, you know, as you get older and you begin to see how your life turn out and how the life of those you know turn out, you begin to wonder, I wonder the pathways that we travel that led us here to become the people that we are, to desire the things that we desire, and what makes us be interested in the things we're interested in, what makes us have the bad habits that we have, the good habits. You know, why some people are fast learners, why some people are slow learners. So just think about the pathways of life as you go about your day and make sure that you examine your pathway and that you're happy with it. Because most of all, you need to be happy with where, you know, your life is in this moment, and you need to be happy in the present. And if you're not happy, then it's never too late to start living happily. But also know that it will take time sometimes if you're very unhappy, you won't, it's okay if it take another 6 months or another year. It's fine, because discovering your happiness is always worth it, you all. And sometimes the longer road is better than the shorter road that leads to destruction. So I just want to encourage you all, whatever pathway you have to take, you all, if it's for your greater good and for the greater good of your community, your family, just do it. Even if you have to learn patience, learn courtesy, learn long suffering, learn, gentleness. If you need to learn love, peace, compassion, just do it if it's for the good of your, if it's part of your destiny. So today you have tuned into the MR podcast. I am your main speaker and host, Hannah Lassiter, and I hope that you enjoyed this segment on pathways, and I hope that you'll be able to carry this. And welcome to the MR podcast. If you are new and listening for the first time, I thank you for tuning in, and I hope that you will subscribe to us on Spreaker and all our other mainstream platforms, because we create good radio. And the mission of us is to help sustain lives and minds in the 21st century and the years beyond. So I hope that you have had a nice day. I know it is now nighttime, but I think that this podcast will bring something to your spirit that's meant to meditate upon. Stay tuned, because we're coming with more.